Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports
Great to
UK.
see my next guest back in action. He's going to be taking on Natan Levy, UFC Fight Night, September 16th. It is Alex Reyes back here on the program. Alex, how are you, man?
I'm good, brother. How you doing? Thanks for having me back on the show, man.
Oh, of course, man. It's great to talk to you. And, again, I kind of joked about this last time. Hopefully no bad luck here, but you're supposed to fight Trevor Peek. I know that didn't end up happening. For those who don't know, what took you out of that fight and kind of delayed things even more about you getting that big UFC return?
Man, I ended up tearing a ligament in my hand, and UFC took care of that and got me all healed up and cleared. And so, I was knocking on the door, bugging my manager. I'm like, hey, man, I want to get back in there. Let me know when they can rebook me. So gave me a call. They said, I want to get you ready September 16th at the arena. I said, couldn't be better.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting, dates behind that, for me. So I'm super excited about it.
No, I bet. So by the sounds of it, you wanted to fight sooner than this, but it was just whatever was available, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How long did that injury take you out for? Like, when were you back to training and all that? Because that fight, I believe, was when was that? March? I was trying to remember when that fight was.
February is when it happened, man. A couple weeks before the fight had happened, and then management team, coaches, everyone decided that it was best to not. Then after imaging got done and all that stuff, like, yeah, we need to take care of this. So we got it taken care of and healed up now. And it took a few months for me to get back to training. You know what I mean? It was at least 2 months, you know what I mean, with everything done, procedure and all that stuff. And after I healed up, started training, started moving, getting back in there. And as soon as I was back to full training, full grappling, full sparring, I was like, hey, man, let's go.
Good. Was the negotiation fairly easy? Because I know Levy is also part of your management team.
Yeah, man, it's a tough one. It's kind of weird, you know what I mean? Because I like to root for everyone on our management team, but, it's the fight game, you know what I mean? And my manager has a huge roster in the UFC, so it's bound to happen. This is not the first time it's happened with him or our team, I should say. So it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, we get in there. I'm in there. I'm going in there to perform. I'm getting there to get my W and continue my pursuit at greatness in the sport.
Let's talk about Levy, 8-1 record. Stylistically, how are you looking at this fight?
I think it's a great fight. I think it's an exciting fight. You know what I mean? This kid's super tough, super durable, exciting, a lot of big stuff. I'm excited to get in there and share the octagon with him. He's coming off of a 2-fight win streak, and I'm always up for a challenge. And I feel that I have what it takes to beat him and to break him and to go out there and get the finish. That's how I fight. I fight for the finish. If you look at my record, look at all the past, I don't look for the decision. I don't look for the grind. I look to get in there and take you out as quick as I can. You know what I mean? So first round, second round, third round, I fight to finish. That's just what I do. If not, we go out in the shield,
Yeah, exactly. No. Again, anyone who's watched your fights, it's always action packed and never snoozing the crowd at all. It's always a crowd pleaser, man. As far as training camp, anything different, business as usual? Who you mainly had a chance to work with leading into this fight?
Man, I've worked with a lot of people. Worked with Bobby Green in the past leading up to it. I'm out here in Vegas doing my camp, working with Syndicate, John Wood. Also,
hold on a second here. You're training at Syndicate because that's Levy used to train there, so I'm sure there's a bit of insight. I don't think like trading secrets or anything, but that's got to be a bit of an advantage being with a coach that used to coach him, right?
I mean, you can look at it that way, but at the same time, at this level in the sport, I mean, your footage is everywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not a big secret, or anything
out there,
like that.
People know what you do, they know what you like, they know what you don't like. For the most part, I mean, I'm a student of the game, so I like to analyze things that way. But it make no difference. I mean, can you say there's an advantage on there if you want to look at it that way? I think it could be. I mean, obviously, John Wood built the guy. You know what I mean, and knows him pretty well. So I guess you could say there's somewhat of an advantage there. If you want to look at it that way. But at the same time, everyone's evolving, everyone's growing, and at the same time, everyone has footage out there. So, but I'll take the advantage.
Absolutely. Is this your first time training there?
No, man, I was doing my camp last camp. I was training out there when I was supposed to fight Trevor Peek. I was out here training with Syndicate and stuff as well too. But I'm also working with Brandon Moreno's camp, Marcio Fullen and Marcelo. And so a lot of different bodies, man. Obviously, there's tons of good bodies at Syndicate. You know what I mean? We got Marat back in the building. and the list goes on with people out here in Vegas. You know what I mean? Just tons of talent out here, and tough guys pushing you every single day in the gym. So
Cool.
grateful, man. Just enjoying the process, and growing, and sharpening my skills, and just getting ready for this war I got coming up. You know, September 16th.
Where are you staying in Vegas? Are you at like an Airbnb? Because I like, I imagine like, because you obviously live in California, right?
Yeah, I do live in California, and so being out here, I have some friends that have a condo out here, so I'm renting their condo from them, which is it's off the strip. So I'm right in the middle of everything. Very blessed and fortunate to have that opportunity, and to be able to stay there, and make quick trips to the PI, quick trips to Syndicate, and everywhere else I got to go out here. It's extremely convenient. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
Must be nice having the meal prep too, because it's right there at the cafeteria. You can go, probably all your meals are covered pretty much, right?
You know what, man? It's on. You know what? It's tough to beat being out here because you have so many resources for you. You know, the meals, the
Yeah.
nutrition, the PT, the strength coaches. You got everything. There's tons of resources out here. It's hard not to be out here, to utilize those resources. So it's also a big part of me coming back. You know what I mean? Being out here instead of doing my camp in California, which I normally have done. I've trained with Timo Yama, and I've trained with Bobby Green. Also both great camps out there in California, but it's just hard to beat the resources that are out here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That the UFC provides for you. So taking advantage of all that, using all the resources, and everything at my fingertips, and I feel great, man. I feel really good. I had that whole camp in February with Trevor Peak, pretty much the whole camp, up until the last couple of weeks. So I just rode the wave off of that, kept the weight down, and just riding momentum off of that, and continue training, back home in California. So honestly, I feel really good, man. Going into this fight, feel really positive. Body's responded really well, and just excited to get back in there, and on top of it, being blessed to be back in an arena. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
they have the Apex, which is, hey, it is what it is. We got to get in there and fight. But when you have that arena and you have that crowd, man, it's pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Uh, so yeah.
Excellent. And now, what about your corner? How does that differ? Is it like, what's that going to look like going into the fight?
So right now I'm looking at most likely it'll be John Wood, and Marcio Fulton and Marcelo
Nice.
in the corner. So
Cool.
that's what I'm looking at right now. I also work a lot with Robert Drysdale. He gave me my black belt out here in Vegas. So like I said, there's a lot of resources out here, and but that's pretty much my corner is looking like right now.
Nice. And how's this fight playing out on September 16th? I know you feel like you're going to get your hand raised, otherwise why sign the contract, but how do you envision it going down?
Dude, right? Oh man, I envision going out there, man, and putting on this guy, and picking him apart and finishing him, whether it be on the feet or the ground. You know what I
Love it.
mean? It's kind of pick. He can pick his poison. You know what I mean? I don't like to force anything. I like to go in there and just flow. You know what I mean? And let go. So I'm excited to get back in there, man. It's been 6 years to the day. 6 years to the
Crazy, man.
day, bro. It's fucking crazy when I fought Mike Perry, on that 3-day notice. But anyways, man, I feel great, and I've grown, I've improved. I'm excited to get back in there, and like I said, just grateful for the opportunity and be able to compete at this level.
And then I imagine, I mean, it's probably safe to say this, but I'm assuming you want to get at least one more fight in this year. If all goes well and you're healthy, I know you've been kind of cursed in that regard, but is that what you're hoping for, is get one more? And especially being in Vegas, like you could probably take a shorter notice fight, just with the fact that, they're doing a lot of events in Vegas.
No, exactly, man. So I would like to get another one in this year. You know what I mean? And we'll just see how things play out, and just be in good contact with my management, and after this fight, just be ready to go for the next one. Maybe a short notice, or if something falls out, I'll just be ready. I'm going to be ready to get back in there.
What's downtime like in Vegas for you? Because obviously, like you're there for camp, and I know you're away from family and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you just kind of staying indoors, staying away from the strip, or how are you kind of managing that side of things?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. It's all work out here, man. All business, no play. You know what I mean? The wife and kids get to come out on the weekends.
Oh,
The kids get out
cool.
of school, which is
Yeah,
really cool. The wife will drive up, and condo has 2 rooms, so the kids can stay in one room, and
there
the
you
wife
go.
comes out, and so we'll just hang out, go to the pool at the condo, and relax, and nothing crazy. I'm still in camp, so as bad as they want to go to the strip, maybe this weekend we might go, because my son he wants to see the Statue of Liberty. He's always talking about, oh, I want to go see, I want to go see. So I think this weekend, and when he comes, I might take him to go see Statue of Liberty at New York, and then maybe go to the Reyes store and go to the M&M's factory and do all
There
the
you
fun
go.
stuff for the kids for the day, and then come home, relax, and just enjoy that family time.
Now, will you go on the roller coaster at New York, or no?
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't
It's
want to
fun.
right
I've
now.
done it. I've done it a couple times. I like it.
I
It's
haven't
pretty
been
fun
on it.
actually. Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
fun. Yeah, I like it. It's cool too because like obviously you're on the roller coaster and you can go through like the other hotels. It's kind of neat. So
Oh, well, you know what, man? Maybe I'll talk the kids into it and see if they're down.
there you go. Got to ask first. And before we go, you mentioned it there. Obviously, you had the debut 6 years ago against Mike Perry. Are you kind of following what Perry's been doing? Like, he got released from the UFC, and I think kind of the assumption with a lot of people was he'll probably, keep fighting and no big deal. But he's become this like big bare knuckle star, and now he's the backup for this Jake Paul and Dylan Dennis fight. Like, are you even kind of aware of that? Do you kind of keep tabs on
You know
him?
what? Yeah, you know what? Good for him, man. You good
Yeah,
for him. That kid's an animal. He's a monster. That fool comes in there and he's ready for a dogfight. You know what I mean? And much respect to him, and happy for him to see him still doing well in his career and doing and making money and making waves the way he is. So it's cool to see. I I still am a fan of the sport and respect hard work and dedication and growth. So, I respect what he's doing. So it's good for him. Would I like to get that fight back someday? Yeah, let's run it back.
there you go.
Let me
Yeah,
put
for
some weight
sure.
on. Let me put some weight on.
Yeah,
We'll get that back.
exactly.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. People forget you had to fight at welterweight. I mean, that was crazy. Like, and Perry was pretty established in the UFC at that point too, right? So it was a tough fight. And, kudos to you for stepping up and doing it. I'm sure there were a lot of fighters that turned down that opportunity, honestly.
There were a lot of fighters that turned down an opportunity, and my manager let me know that. But man, I'm a warrior, man. I go in there to
Yeah.
fight. You tell me when and where we go. So
Yeah.
that's how it is. That's how I am. That's my mentality, and so same thing with this fight. Hey, let's go. Doesn't matter who it is, coach. Let's go. I got team coaches behind me and my mentality, and like I said, I go in there to finish, and if not, and then I'm going out on my show because I'm getting everything I got. I'm going in there to put on a show.
I'm looking forward to it, man. 6 years. It's been way too long, Alex. So happy to see you get back in there. UFC Fight Night, September 16th. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, I will give you the last word.
Man, thank you to all my coaches, that have got me to this point in my career. Coach Oyama, Irvin, Jake, Bobby, all the coaches I'm working with now, my family, my wife, just all my students at my gym that believe in me and support me, and people that have pushed me to get back in there and have believed in me. It's been a tough road, a tough process getting back to this point to be at the highest level. And this whole experience is gratitude. Thank you to the UFC, Dana White, Sean Shelby, Jason House, my manager, everyone. It's just this whole thing is just a big feeling of just gratitude. Just so grateful. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm hungry. I'm in there to make a statement, and I'm gonna get the W, man. So thank you, James. Thank you to you as well, man, for having me on the show and wanting to talk with me. And man, looking forward to more talks.